lineup as you put it, then it's going to be not so great for them. But let's see what happens as we're in the game now. We have prediction, Cinderin. Total number of trees. They really love this one. Total number of trees destroyed. We're 301 plus.
Yes.
I don't even care what heroes are in the map. Team with the most Roshan kills. We're going to go Soniqs.
I guess we have to if we think they're going to win, yeah?
Even though I think 5RATs, I mean, it's just Death Prophet, I guess.
Both lineups are pretty even at Roshing, I think. I actually think the Radiant might be slightly better. It's better. They have overcharge. They have Sidekick with Morph and press the attack. So
total number of player deaths by 10 minutes. I think it's 0 to 5, actually. I think it's going to be a slow-paced game.
I would agree.
Total number of Roche kills.
0 to 2.
I mean, it's always 2, it feels like.
It was 3 yesterday when you said 3.
That's true. Because I had a feeling.
Genius.
You know? Just had a feeling. One of those things, Cinderin. Called intuition. You wouldn't know about it.
I don't know about anything.
That's not true. You've learned many things over the course of your patch history.
Pathetic life.
Or that. Depends on your outlook.
5RAT are very passive. Look at their hero placement. Just not interested in taking a rune fight. Standing way back. They're placing a defensive ward.
Are they giving all 4? They're giving up all 4.
It's 3 for 1.
3. They're giving up all 3.
They're taking the one in their own safe lane that they put an observer ward down covering, which I don't really know if this observer is worth it.
Yeah, that's interesting.
You're not playing against any hero that's going to rotate through the jungle very much or wants creeps. So, like, I don't think the 4 Rubik is going to care about this ward, even if he knew it was there. I mean, obviously he would deward it because that gives something, but he's not, like, phased at all by this being obst.
So DNM will be playing the Luna this time around. And speed, as expected, on his Death Prophet, as he's going to get stunned up to start things out in that bot lane. But like you said, Fata, Yawar are going to be the combo here. The Marcy, Morphling, they'll be able to heal up. You get Sidekick level 2, or you try to go for some kills with the Dispose?
I think probably Sidekick. Unless, I mean, if they get the enemy heroes low enough so that they see a sudden opportunity, then you could go for it, right? But realistically,
look at the regen. Yawar just used his 1 tango. Sorry, he didn't buy any tangos, did he?
No, I think Fata's pulling him. Fata's going to get the range creep there with a jump. The rebound.
Okay, that's a bit greedy, but let's see if it works out for Yawar.
That is a very, very good laning start bottom. Yawar got 7 out of 8 CS in the first 2 waves on Morphling. We're very happy with that.
He's not done yet. Every time I look, he's getting a last hit here. So 8-0 start for him, and then mid lane, very early
double
lead.
range creep deny. Oh, that's a big blunder from Speed there.
It's unfortunate. Quinn 10-2, and Kit's 5-0, so already a lead for Quinn, who is known for his lane dominating in the NA region. And then the one lane, I don't really expect 5RAT. Oh, I was going to say they're not going to lose this lane, but they get first blooded by MSS. And now DNM taking heavy damage. Won't be able to get the trade onto Leslau. I mean, on paper, how is this lane for 5RAT?
I
was expecting it to go maybe even.
Yeah, I definitely don't think you die on Jakiro. That's the main thing, right? Like, they probably went really aggressive trying to kill LC, but got baited. I think Fairy Fire was probably a part of that play. I didn't see it at the time, but, you know, I can understand you get baited into wanting to kill the LC, but realistically speaking, she's going to skill her heal, she's going to purge off your damage over time abilities from the Jakiro and stand her ground and fight. And, you know, pretty good damage.
Yep, Dual Breath comes out, but it's not going to do much to dissuade Soniqs from just continuing to pound on this top lane. And Quinn, you can see the lead is becoming kind of astronomical. He is a good amount of experience ahead, has a lot more CS already.
Yes.
And he could potentially get a kill here pretty soon. Better be careful. We got the Dragon Slave up. Not going to be enough to outright get the kill, but Quinn completely dominating.
So we're seeing what I talked about for the Ember, right? He's using Sleight of Fist to ensure CS, and that means he can't go to the wave afterwards. Every time he walks up to the creeps, he's just getting punished, just getting Dragon Slave spammed, Like here, even in his tower, like Quinn is just being relentless dealing this damage. And Kits, again, slights one CS, and now he has to be careful. He can't come close or he's just going to get LSA'd and killed. So this is a very Lina-favored matchup. And I think this is kind of a losing strategy if you're 5RATFORCESTAFF to pick this particular matchup against Lina. If you're giving Quinn a lane dominator like this, you have to pick yourself a matchup where you don't get exploited this hard. I mean,
Oh boy, I think this is... Oh, we had one charge. Oh, but I guess Dragon Slave was still on cooldown.
Yeah, it was still on CD.
Very close. But now, I mean, we'll see if Quinn can get both runes.
If he gets both waters, this lane's just over. I mean, it's already pretty over, right? But
Yeah, it's... I think Kits should be able to get the other one, surely. But this is, yeah, tough to watch. It's already a 2k lead for Soniqs. They will each get a water rune. And, I mean, one thing we didn't mention is the Spirit Siphon that we've talked about so much over the last couple of days, not doing percentage-based damage. Kind of a big deal against Morphling. Used to be, I don't know if that was necessarily a hard counter by any means, but it would do a lot more damage because he's able to strength morph, but now it's just a fixed amount, so maybe
well,
not even as
arguably
good.
it's better early, right? Because Morph is low health in the start, so then the high level of Siphon is very strong against his low max health to begin with, especially if you catch him in a stun or silence to start off. But yeah, later on, when Morph does start morphing into strength, definitely weaker than it was before. So it's situational, really. My god, Kits is so out of this lane. I mean, that's the thing, right? Because we were talking about, okay, from a strategic perspective, like, we like the Dire lineup in isolation and what it can do, but if your lanes are going to get crushed to this extent, you might not get to realize what the potential of the lineup is, and obviously that is a factor you take into account. But I think this mid lane, speaking strictly from theory, I don't think it is this Lina heavy. There's also a bit of a skill difference going on here in terms of lane mechanics.
Oh, Laguna Blade, not enough. Hits with just a sliver of HP, but MSS is looking to backstab right now. Waiting for another round of spells from Quinn. Oh, going for the courier instead. I thought he could have gone for a lift into LSA, but either way, it doesn't really matter. Quinn is still just destroying.
Good
It's
lift
like
there.
you said, just using the sleight of fist. As you can see, more rotation in. Both Fata and MSS have come to play. Fata's going to get stunned up by Giant as Rune Battle in the top area. LSA is going to connect on Kits. Obviously not level 6, so can't really use a Remnant or anything of the sort. He will walk away with just a sliver of HP again. And it does have 9 stick charges, though, so his courier was killed, obviously, so another minute before he can bring anything out. And this leaves a 1v1 battle for Leslau and DNM.
Another thing about this mid matchup is not just the raw CS differential and the denies, it's the fact that Ember has to buy Raindrop as well, right? To even stand in the lane. Quinn can go full value. He ends up buying a Raindrop as well, not for defensive purposes in this lane, it doesn't matter here, but he gets some mana regen. But the Ember ideally does not want to buy this item, but he kind of has to in order to stand his ground and even have any sort of presence. So for one hero, it's a necessity, and the other one, it's a luxury, and that just further adds to Lina's advantage here. And if the wave is in this position, what do you do? I know I'm talking about mid a lot, but the reason I'm focusing on it so much is that this is a huge part of 5RATFORCESTAFF's lineup, is their mid pick being able to set up for success for them. They're very reliant on slight chains for their strategy to work, and if you feel starved out as Ember, it's hard to find moves around the map because you're kind of looking after yourself, right? You need to get levels and get some sort of items so that you can be that role.
Yeah, and from the safe lane perspective, you are 41-8, DNM 31-7, but the big story is that Leslau is out-leveling DNM by a very good amount. And he is getting complete free farm. I mean, the top 3 CS in the game are on the side of Soniqs, although even the top 3 net worths even at this stage. And he's actually rushing a
And
blade.
they're going in here. Fox
Yep.
has joined. Oh,
okay, a little bit of
there.
Yeah, a little bit of something.
Rebound
Not able to get
failed.
much.
And this is a go call for speed in bottom lane now. Obviously, Yawar will survive, but speed should be playing very aggressively here against the Morphling, not letting him get farm. Because DP, if there's one thing DP does well when over-leveled, it is bullying short-range or melee heroes out of the lane, and Yawar is just going to go jungle now. It's not really feasible. He has his Morbid Mask, so he does end up buying it. Obviously, with Fata rotating, it feels way more valuable, and you probably wanted to buy it anyway, like we talked about. This is not a Lincoln's game, so you're not going to buy Ring of Health.
Yeah, Quinn 500 away from finishing Boots of Travel. Has the double damage. Had the Arcane Rune before that. Has gotten basically, actually, I think every power rune so far.
He almost has as many denies as his opponent has last hits.
Oh, let me...
Just to give you some perspective here. He's 59 and 20 against 28 and 1.
Jeez. That is pretty rough stuff.
Yep.
Oh, he's going to try to go for the kill. Laguna Blade
DD,
again.
yeah.
DD. Not going to be enough to get the kill, but forces gets back. And Quinn, not too scared. Oh, okay.
That.
The Dragon Slave is just enough damage to get the kill. He finally finds it onto Kits, and now we have the lift into the LSA. Quinn with a double kill. And this is quickly getting out of hand in favor of Soniqs.
Big mistake there from Kits to get killed off like that. That was a very obvious and telegraphed
Top
play.
lane, we have Dispose. DNM. Not going to get dueled. I think a Blade Mail is coming out already. Yep. Yes.
It is.
That's really fast.
And even though they don't kill the Luna here, this is still a great move from Soniqs because they forced a DP teleport to top, and she does not want to be here. Like, now you're stuck up here as DP with your Exo ready, and you want to use this to push a tower, but you're not going to push the top tower. It's not going to happen. Like, it's very easy for Soniqs to defend this with the advantage they have and how strong their Luna is with travels. So, effectively, you just... The one lane that's going well for 5RATFORCESTAFF was just forced to rotate. So now, none of them
Look who
are.
gets another rune. It is Quinn Callahan.
Another Arcane.
The rune god. Actually absurd. That time, 5RAT actually brought some heroes to try to secure the top rune, but obviously the 50-50 not going their way. Where's the DP right now? So Speed actually TP'd to the top lane. That's going to leave Morphling, Mr. Yawar, to just free farm both the jungle and the bot lane for himself. And
Yeah,
Giant has to be a bit careful here.
Exactly. I was just going to say, like, you're not safe here as Shaker. If you get caught by Rubik or by Marcy, you can easily get killed off. But it looks like the pressure from Soniqs will be put top. They do have the 10-minute siege creep, so they're going to put their Boots of Travel to use. And
Cool. Our Shaker's coming. And Quinn has the Arcane Rune popped already, so look, just itching to use the Laguna Blade. Siege creep is taken out, but Soniqs are here in numbers. Lesla dodges the Enchant Totem. Ata jumps in as the Exorcism is popped. It looks like Soniqs want to try to disengage, but looks like Lesla won't have the choice. Despite popping that Blade Mail, will drop. The 5RATFORCESTAFF end up defending that Tier 1 tower and get their first kill of the game, but still behind by 4K.
And they lose bot tower. It's just...
Oh, wow, yeah, you're right.
It's not a good trade whatsoever. I mean, in isolation, it looks okay, right? Their tower was getting pushed, they defended, and they kill Legion, but the amount of rotation that this costs them is a net loss on the map by far. Like, Morphling gets more out of that than they do with their kill. Tower Gold invading the triangle and starts farming here. We're going to keep calling this triangle, by the way. It's the two camps and this secret shop. That's the triangle. Even if there's only two camps now.
So the triangle tip is
Nice
the
fissure
secret
steal. Easy kill on them.
Yep. DNM is dead. Nice rotations from Soniqs again, and showing the global potential of Quinn as he can just TP back to the mid lane. And he is starting to, well, I shouldn't say starting, he is taking over the game since the 1 minute mark and expanding on this lead.
Took over the game when they picked Lena.
Yeah, it feels like it.
Oh, very aggressive here onto Kits, all right. Been
Not
pushing
gonna
it a
find
little
anything
bit
yet
there.
But this is what I was talking about, and I'm not saying the game is 100% over yet, but I feel like you need to try to cheese in a game like, in a series like this, when you're kind of outclassed. Because it feels like, even if they had picked heroes that, you said that they kind of won the draft, in a way, right? If you didn't look at the teams, you'd want their draft, but Soniqs are just better players.
Yeah,
More experienced team.
So my point was, if the drafts were flipped, I don't think Soniqs would have lost the lanes like this, right? Like, that's the point. So they could have played the Dire lineup against the Radiant one, and they could have floated the lanes to an extent where maybe it was a slight loss in the lanes, but not like a 5k minute 13, right? So that's why I still like the Dire lineup as it looks, but they're just getting exploited too much by Quincy's formidable laning stage. So when you go up against a team like this and you know what your weakness is and what the enemy's strength is, you might have to cover that aspect more than you usually would against the other teams you play against in either Division 2 or bottom of Division 1, where stuff like this, where you can get away with it. It's just a total difference of quality that they're up against compared to the last few days here. It's just really showing that Soniqs are on a different level in lane mechanics.
They're smoking up. Yuar is who they would want to get, but obviously it's going to be a bit tough. Although the silence, there's the fissure, silence to follow. Yuar is fine. No ice path.
They need
But they will
Ember
get
for
a
that
stack.
kill. Yeah,
I think
it's
they
something.
need all 5, it feels like, at this point. And Speed, obviously, I mean, he's having himself a pretty good game. He's the top net worth on his team. Obviously, yet to get a kill, but hasn't died yet either. So still deathless in his 2 DP games that we've cast. I think he went 14-0 or something the other day.
Yep.
Could pop Exo for this bot tower, but we'll see if they even need it. Not sure if Soniqs are even going to defend it. As Quinn obviously has had his boosted trial for a bit now. Just a Mithril Hammer away from the BKB. And on Yuar's side, he is close to finishing a Manta style.
Exo still not being used bot. Like, picture this. DP has a pretty good game, right? They have not taken a tower minute 15, and they've lost 3 with the DP Luna lineup. They're finally going to brute force it here, and I think Soniqs are just going to let them have it. It's not worth the risk. They have way more other stuff on the map that they can focus on.
But look at how scared they are.
Yep, they're missing a lot of heroes, so just going to let Speed do it solo. Taking him
Fortification
quite some
comes
time.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we can see on the mini-map, obviously, that Soniqs not remotely interested in defending. And, man, they are really playing this defensively.
They're terrified.
They really are.
They
I
even
can't blame them.
They scanned while the glyph was on to see if Soniqs were going for a rotation, and it scanned red, and it was just Fata.
I mean, this is 3 members of 5RAT standing around, and like while they were doing this, the lead got into the 7K range. It's mid lane now. We're going to see the duel. Kits is dead. First damage goes the way of Leslau.
Blink reveal.
Yes, so already a Blink Blade Mail for him, and now we are at the 7K net worth advantage mark. This is shellacking territory, no doubt about it.
Yeah, and Leslau is just gonna squeeze every advantage he can. This is what you want to see from the strongest team in this qualifier, arguably, is that when they get ahead, they just keep, they just keep squeezing out advantage out of every situation. So they get this kill, and he knows for that reason that he can go and steal this camp away that Luna wanted, and Luna's just terrified and runs away. So
Yep, top lane, Giant's dead.
Every time you steal a camp from an enemy carry that wanted it, it's like 150 gold difference, right? If the camp is worth 75, you got it and they didn't. So it's not just the gold you get, it's what they lost and the time that they spent walking over only to give it up and run away. It's just very quickly adds up. 8K lead minute 17 with 6 kills. Just full-on raw map victories.
Yep, were we right on our kills? Yep.
We were. There were 0 to 5. There were 3 kills minute 10.
So far, it's as expected.
Yes.
The trees are a bit low.
By Lina, though.
Yeah, they're a bit low. Not gonna lie. Need to get those tree kills up. Get this prediction correct. As 5RAT again kind of grouping up. And the problem is they don't have this Blink Dagger. They don't have the Shard for the Earthshaker. He's gonna go for Shard first, which is something we've seen a lot recently. And Soniqs are like, okay, you guys are gonna just stand around. We're gonna take Roche.
Yep. Roche #1 will go to Yawar probably, or actually give the Aegis to Quinn. I think he wants to play more aggressive.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
Quinn. Oh, they're gonna get the lift. LSA not gonna connect thanks to the Sleight of Fist. So Kit's able to escape death this time as Quinn. Oh, look at that. Another rune for him. This time it is an invisibility.
Yeah, he's going to immediately put that to use TP bot and look for pick here. He wants to kill the Luna if possible. Has a pretty good read of where Luna should be farming. So he might run into him here. The Ob's just barely out of range. He might see him. He'll see him now. He might turn around and go for this. Yep.
Yeah.
DNM.
All right, DNM. You're in a bit of trouble, my friend. LSA, Laguna Blade, and eventually we'll go down, I assume, trying to run around these trees, but finally MSS comes to help finish the job. Blade Mail duel, that's another set of damage for Leslau as Kit's trying to get out with the remnants. Looks like he'll be successful, but he dies to the tower. Oh my goodness. LSA connects onto speed as a newly picked up BKB from Quinn. Just absolutely stomping their way in this game. It's going to be a full team wipe, and all they lost was the Rubik.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those games where what can you really say, right? You lost in all aspects of the game as 5RATFORCESTAFF. You lost all 3 lanes, you lost Roche, you lost on towers, and you're being outmaneuvered and outfarmed on the map. So the good news is you can improve on everything, and it will all make a difference. The bad news is there's a lot you need to improve on if you want to match this level of play. It's just a beatdown, really. And I think, you know, you don't want to start thinking about game 2 already. You still want to play this to the end if you're 5RAT, right? But let's be honest, their chances here are extremely slim of coming back from this. But my biggest piece of advice for the next game is avoid getting off to this bad of a start so you have a fighting chance. So you might have to
advice.
step away. I mean, you might have to step away from some of your comfort mid picks, for example, and pick something that just lanes better. Like, you have to give yourself a chance of getting
Cheese it up,
done.
Cinder, and that's my strat. Cheese it up.
Yeah, but cheesing only works if the cheese hero wins its lane, right? Because, like, let's say you pick a hero like Brood, but you're picking an unfavorable matchup, it won't matter. Like, then you're just going to lose your lanes and have the same situation just with cheese picks. So
Mozzarella it up.
You have to set up better laning.
Tier 2 tower taken out.
Maybe tri-lane, maybe triple down on picking really strong dual lanes. So not Shaker, but getting something like Marcy that you saw Soniqs take here. You know, whatever it takes to have laning presence is probably going to be step number 1.
Well, 12k lead for Soniqs. Aegis still there for 2 full minutes. And Quinn already has his Shadow Blade. We'll be going towards the Silver Edge to get a little crit action. Yawar, he has a BKB that is yet to be used. Now working on a Scotty.
Interesting choice to go BKB straight after the Mantic. I mean, it is a great BKB game, but
this Luna might be dead. Cinder and Quinn trying to pursue. MSS takes that Lucent Beam. Come to the other side, and that's going to be enough for the kill. Meanwhile, Leslau gets a kill onto Giant. He got damage for that as well, so already 50 dual damage for Leslau. Speed wants to get a support kill, wants to get anything here, but he's going to get stun locked, it looks like. LSA into the right clicks and the Dragon Slave. So Quinn getting another kill to his name. 5-0-3 as, yeah, nothing stopping them from going high ground. And again, the Aegis still intact.
We might end up being wrong on the trees prediction because they're just crushing the game too fast and they didn't break them. So the prediction is at 30 minutes, but what if the game isn't 30 minutes? Then
we need Jakiro to use some macro fires on the trees, not on the lane, on the trees.
Does
this tower is dead. I thought it did. Am I wrong? I'm pretty sure it does.
I feel like it does.
Fairly sure. Fairly sure, Cinder.
Well, that's 1 lane of barracks, minute 22.
Yep, fortification is up, but not sure if there's even a point in using it. And Aegis down in 20, so we'll see how reserved they want to be from Sonic's side. I'm sure they know that they are up by a monumental amount at the moment. And hey, another rune for Quinn. Regen this time.
Yeah, has Ember got a rune?
I don't remember him getting anything other than a water rune.
In 23 minutes.
Water rune technically counts. Power rune,
if you don't even get a water rune. I mean,
yep. Right. And yeah, Yawar gets a kill here. And
albino zebra, more like albino Sia.
Wow, that was really bad. I'm gonna ignore that comment.
You loved it.
I kind
Silently.
of did.
Yep, you did. I
He's
know you.
dad. I mean, that's not even a dad joke, though. That's,
It's a dead joke. Because he died.
yeah, it is a dead joke in many ways.
DNM?
18K
Actually,
lead at
DNM doesn't have
23
BKB.
minutes.
I think he's probably dead here to Quinn if he finds the angle.
Yep.
See you
Laguna.
later.
Wait. And, oh, Yawar steals
Nice,
it.
Yawar. And they're going to
Quinn
duel
can't
speed.
quite solo. Yeah. Not enough to get the damage this time, but still will get the kill. And they can just barrel down mid if they want, or they can wait for that second Roche, which would help with our predictions, of course, Cinderan. Very important.
Why would that help?
Because, wait, how many Roches? Oh, we picked 0 to 2. Okay, I forgot it was a range. Yeah.
Yeah.
Another hero dies for 5RAT. All right, so we still need 100, like 90 trees. We need 90 trees killed somehow.
Yep.
And if we get that, we will have a 4 for 4, which will be the first time.
That's true. So it's not going to happen.
Yeah, we haven't had over 50%, though. We haven't gotten 3 out of 4, so that's
Haven't we?
nice.
One time? No, actually, maybe not.
We've been
We
really
haven't always
bad.
predicted the same, but I think I think our best score has actually been 2 out of 4. I think you're right.
Yeah.
Kit's gonna... Ooh, good reaction. Gets out in time. His grand reward will be Fountain Healing. He got a power rune, by the way. He has Arcane.
Oh, you're right. How did he manage that?
Quinn was top, I think.
Well, he's 100 gold from BKB. That might be the go time for them. Or it might be now, actually, because they are smoked up already.
Yeah. Trying to get a
Giants.
surprise jump.
Yeah.
Fissure. Okay.
That's fine.
Not too much of a surprise now.
I mean, they don't really have a jump of any kind, because still 1,000 away from Blink on Giant. MSS.
Sidekick him for full heal.
Yep, Quinn. Gonna get harassed bit by these illusions. There's the fissure. This is the setup now. But
Press
the
the
save
effect.
again from the telekinesis. That is the shard coming out, and that is a dual victory for Lesla onto speed. DNM is dead. 5RATFORCESTAFF dropping like flies. And that's going to be a double kill for Yawar. I would expect GG's to come out here any moment, which means the trees challenge will not be successful for us, Cinderan. But Soniqs will be successful in taking game 1 in a Gaben shellacking. This was not remotely close.
This was more of a stomp than I was expecting. I mean, we were talking about how Soniqs are the clear favorites for this series, but when I saw the draft and when I saw the lanes that 5